Sommelier Erin Rosar, and welcome to this week's episode of WGTV. This week I wanted to you can see all my little kit here in front of me. So what are we going to do this week? I'm going to show you how to build the perfect ice bucket. Lots of times we have a bottle of wine, we know we want it chilled, so we'll just stick it right in a bucket with lots of ice. I want to show you how you can create an ice bucket and so that your bottle is going to cool down evenly, so you just don't have a cold section at the bottom and the rest of the wine on top, and you're kind of doing the bottle slurp and slop to kind of get it to cool down all the way through. So how do you build an ice bucket? You can have, what you're going to need is a bucket of some sort. I like a pail. I think it's easy, it works just great, and it's neutral all over the place, but there are definitely beautiful ice buckets that you can have out there. You're obviously going to need some ice. You're going to need some water and a little bit of salt. And let me show you how this works. And you're going to need some cloths for when you take your bottle in and out of the bucket, you'll be able to wipe it off. So if you were to just take your ice and fill the bucket on its own, this is going to be loud. Okay, so we put the ice in here, which is great. You can see we have ice in the bottom. And then if we were just going to put our bottle right on top of here like this, only part of our bottle is going to get cold. You can see the way the ice just sort of sits around it. So this isn't going to work because otherwise you're just going to keep rotating through, right? So that's not a good way to do it. So what we're going to do is what happens is you put the ice in the bucket, then I want you to pour some water into your bucket, and this is going to allow you to be able to submerge your bottle into the cold water. And if you add just a splash of salt, okay, a little bit of pinch of this, a pinch of that, it's going to help the ice melt a little bit faster. Think of on the roads during wintertime. We use salt to keep the ice from melting sort of thing. So we do the same thing in an ice bucket. It's going to help us melt. Then when we put our bottle inside, our bottle's going to go down, the ice is going to come up around it. And you're going to play a little bit in here. You can keep sort of filling up depending on how much water and ice you have in your bucket, and you'll just fill in till you get to the level of higher up on your bottle. And let it sit. You probably need about 30 minutes in an ice bucket submerged for it to be cold at serving temperature, but you're going to be the judge. If you find your bottle is getting too cold in an ice bucket, and this is important for service as well when you're serving some white wines, is you can have a coaster on the table, and it's completely acceptable to take a bottle of wine out, and this is where your cloth is going to come in handy. So you'll take a little napkin or a towelette, you'll wipe the bottle off before you serve it so the bottle's not slippery for your hand when you're holding it. And then when it's too cold or you feel it's cold, you'll just leave it out on the table where you're enjoying your dinner or your meal together, and then you can serve it, and if you find it's getting too warm, put it back in the bucket. Completely good service to play around with the temperature of it, but for you to do the perfect ice bucket, you're going to need water, ice, and a bit of salt, obviously a waterproof container of some sort, and make sure your bottle is submerged inside. Make sure there's enough water to get it all around, and that way you're going to have an evenly chilled bottle and not just one section of it. So I hope that helps make sense of something that most people, it's one of those things we just assume everybody knows how to do, but I want to share with you, especially since I hope summer is coming soon. I know it's just the beginning of March, but I'm hopeful of spring, and so I thought it'd be fun to talk about how we chill our white wines down. So for rosé, sparkling, anything you want chilled down, this is the way you're going to do it. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm Erin Rosar, and I can't wait to see you again next week on WGTV. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers.